Okay, Meet LLaMA. This is an open source model from Meta. They released it, which is really great because they spent all the money training it and then just released it open source. That means I can actually run this on my own computer. Now, there are different sources online where you can run this, like on Hugging Face or Replicate, but I really wanted to run it on my own computer. I'm using something called LM Studio, which you can download. It's just a Mac app, and then once you've got that set up, you can download anything from Hugging Face. Like this is downloaded the Llama 2 Chat 13B model, and you can prompt it just like you would ChatGPT. So I'm just going to paste in my prompt and see how it does. What I've found in general is that obviously running it on your local computer is a little bit slower. So even though this is a smaller model than ChatGPT, the responses actually come out relatively slower. The other thing is that it doesn't follow the instructions usually as well as GPT-4 does. These models, these open source models, are getting closer to what you would get from the free version of ChatGPT. And in fact, there's a new model out by Mistral, which the Mistral 7B model, which is actually pretty good and pretty close to ChatGPT levels if you're comparing it to the free version. But nobody has managed to get to the actual results that you would normally get from GPT-4. So while this is generating, let's familiarize ourselves with what we came up with ChatGPT. We can see it wrote some pretty interesting stuff here, and we have 2 paragraphs per section, and it's a unique fantasy style with actual narrative and character development. Let's see if we can get that. We run into an error. So you do run into this sometimes, unfortunately. Running these models requires some technical ability in some cases, but I think in general, I would say these models aren't quite there yet. They're not as good as what you get from ChatGPT, even the free version. We're all hoping that these models will get better because it would be very cool to have something that's as good. Now you can see here that the text isn't bad. It's come up with some interesting stuff here. It has pretty decent introduction, but again, I prefer ChatGPT's version.